Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
My friend, there is a saying: a day goes long, but a decade goes quick. A day goes long, but a decade goes quick. Have you ever felt this? Felt that a day would drag on and on and on, and you just kept looking at the clock, waiting. I've only felt this when I was doing things that I didn't want to be doing. When I was working tirelessly at a job or at a place that I felt no connection to, I would look at the clock and I felt like the time would not move. Like staring at a pot, waiting for it to boil. Watching water. A day goes long, a decade goes quick. A decade, 10 years can go by very fast, very, very fast. Before we know it, there was a time where I used to look up to one of my cousins and used to think that him being in 7th grade doing homework for his test, thinking that this was going to be so hard. How would I ever pass 7th grade? This looks like this work he's doing. It looks crazy, right? And before I knew it, I blew past 7th grade, and I forgot my perception of how hard I thought it was going to be. My friend, what is it in this world that you are destined to do? Les Brown says, we are born for greatness, but we are not destined for greatness. The sword of destiny is double-edged. You must make the choice. So whether or not you choose to use this time to your benefit, whether or not you choose to use this time to reflect, whether or not you choose to use this time to study, to read, to research, to meditate, to go inside, to hustle, to grind, to chase, to fulfill your dreams, your desires, your ambitions, your goals, to plan, to think, whether or not you use this time, the time will pass anyway. One day I observed a snail on the sidewalk, slowly, just slowly crawling, slithering to the other side of the sidewalk. Who knew where this snail was going? It looked like he was going to the pavement where all the cars would cross. Only the snail knew. But for one thing I knew. Wherever the snail was going, in that direction, the time would pass anyway, in the other direction. No matter what we do, my friend, or don't do, time doesn't care. So we can use this time that we have wisely, the time that we have available in abundance, or we can let this precious time so precious because we can never get it back, we can let this precious time slip away. Bruce Lee says, if you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made of. Dennis Kimbrough said, remember the 4 things that never return: the spoken word, the speeding arrow, the wasted life, and the neglected opportunity. Don't waste time, my friend. Instead, let time work for you. Do something you've always dreamed of. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast here in Sherman Oaks, California. The open palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray you received an encouraging message, letting you know that you can use your time wisely, the time that you have available. Waste it if you must, but understand that the time passes by anyway. It is no judge of character, good or bad. It passes by anyway. Just as things won't always be good, things won't always be bad, but the time will pass by anyway. Share this episode with a like-minded individual who, like you, is learning and growing, becoming their greatest version, spending their time today. Pay it forward so more can hear the message. And if you enjoyed this episode, if this is your first time finding this podcast, definitely subscribe for more inspirational messages like this. And if you are compelled to support the podcast, then consider opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw, and supporting it there is much appreciated. You are much loved. Thank you for listening. And thank you for just being who you are. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. And take care, my friend. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.